A, B and C are three villages. B is 6.4 kilometres due east of A. So that means that this angle here is 90 degrees if B is due east. We're then told that C is 3.8 kilometres from A on a bearing of 210 degrees. So if this whole thing is 210, and that first angle was 90 degrees, then that means that this angle here is going to be 120, because 210 take away 90 is 120. And whilst I'm at it as well, I'm also going to say that this angle here is going to be 150 degrees, because 360 take away the 210 is 150. Right, I need to calculate the bearing of B from C. So I'm reading that really carefully. The bearing of B from C. So let's start with the fact it's from C first of all. So that means we are at C. So I'm going to draw a north line at C. And I want to say what the bearing of B is. That's the direction to get to B. So I'm going to draw a line to get to B. So this is the bearing that I want to work out. So just to recap there, because it was from C, that's the reason I drew the north line here at C. And because it was the bearing of B, that's why I drew the line towards B. And then it's just the clockwise angle. Right, how am I going to actually work out this angle then? Well, first thing to point out is that we've got two parallel lines here. The two north lines are both parallel. They both go towards north. So these two lines here are parallel, which means that I can use the fact that I've got co-interior angles here. I know that co-interior angles add up to 180. So if that angle there is 150, this one must be 30. So all I now need to do is work out this angle. I'll call it X. And then add it to the 30, and that will be my bearing. Right, to work out angle X, let's look at this triangle here. Now I'm going to need to do this in two stages. My first stage is I'm going to work out the other side of the triangle here. So I'm going to call that A, which means the 120 will be angle A. I'll call the 3.8 side B and the 6.4 side C. Using the cosine rule for sides, I can now say that A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C times cos of the angle in between them. If I put all that into my calculator, that will tell me what A squared is. And then I can square root that to actually work out the side that I need. So I have now worked out this length here. And now I know all three sides of this yellow triangle. I can work out the angle x. So starting a new stage of this question, let me just rub out the A, B and C here just to make my life a bit easier. I want to work out the angle A, so I'm going to call that, the angle X. So I'm going to call that A, which means that the 6.4 would be side A. The 3.8, that can be my side B, and the side that I've just worked out, we'll call that side C. And this time we're going to be using the angle version of the cosine rule. So we will say cos A, or in this case cos X, is equal to B squared plus C squared. Now C squared is what I've just worked out, or C is what I've just worked out, minus the A squared, all divided by 2 times B times C, which again I'll be using the answer from before. Putting that into your calculator will tell you what cos X is. So we're going to need to then do cos inverse of whatever you've got on your calculator now. And that tells you the angle X. Which then remember, so we've just worked out this angle here, angle X, which remember we need to add together with the 30 degrees to get the actual bearing.